everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays FTL. We've had some very close calls when it comes to success lately, and I'm hoping to replicate and improve upon those situations that we've run into. I still very much want to unlock, or I want to play as the Zoltan cruiser, let's put it that way. It doesn't have to be Type A, it doesn't have to be Type B, it doesn't have to be Type C, it doesn't really matter which type. And the reason for that is that if we beat the Federation cruiser, not only do we unlock the Mantis cruiser, which would be totally awesome to play as, and I want to experience fun with a different kind of ship than the, 5 ships I've had available forever, basically. But also that would give us the Lanius cruiser, and the Lanius cruiser would allow us to play as the new race in FTL Advanced Edition. It would be fun. But for now, I think we're going to play as the Adjudicator, and, you know, I really like the name, the Adjudicator, but I think I might call it the Judgy? Wow, that was terrible. Judge Judy Caterer? That's fine enough. Judge Judy Cater. We have Butters, Lang, and Lysandra. It's a Zoltan cruiser, but it is a little bit different than the Zoltan cruiser that we played as before, the Nether. That's layout B. We start with the second level of doors, it appears, and we also start with the Lido, you know, Jared style, not Subway, Dallas Buyers Club. And they're not buying Subway at the Dallas Buyers Club either. But this is a missile launcher. We also start with the halberd beam instead of the pike beam. So we're going to have to be cautious, I guess, of our weapon usage, I guess would be the polite way to put it. Or not, there's no need for politeness, I suppose. But do keep in mind that in order to power up a weapon, I do need to take all of our power away from our med bay. So we'll probably power up our reactor a little bit. And it would allow us to power up the... Actually, it won't, because we'll need to get another bar of weapon power to make that happen. What I do know, or I do think at least, is that using the halberd beam will allow us... Oh man, do I really want to give them 4 fuel to start with? Yeah, I will, and they'll give us 29 scrap in exchange. Sure, we'll level up our weapons once, just so we can have our missile launcher available. But what I will say is that I do believe that the halberd beam can get through the first bar of shields, so we don't need to use missiles yet. Once you arrive at the location of the distress call, a civilian ship hails you. Thanks for responding to our beacon. Our FTL navigation has gone haywire, and we can't plot a course to the nearest depot to get it fixed. Could you lead us there? Absolutely. We'll get 11 scrap right off the bat, and we'll be able to... Ooh, that's a dead-end beacon right there. We'll be able to hopefully pick up some greater rewards when we actually land as well. But let's try out the halberd beam at first. We're dealing with the Rebel Scout here. So what I'm going to do is just auto-fire, and I know that this annoys some people. We're going to auto-fire, not worry too much about the engines, but if I could hit pilots, weapons, and hacking... We have 1 bar of shields and the energy shield. So you know what? First round, I think we're going to go to try to take out their shields to just improve our chances long-term. And then we can take out their weapons on the next halberd beam blast, if possible. But I want to see if halberd beam can actually get through 1 bar of shields. So let's read the description. It does 2 damage per room. I guess we'll see in mere moments if it actually works. Come on, you can do it. We do start with 1 bar of shields, unlike the other Zoltan cruisers, so they just used a hacking module. That scares the crap out of me. They took out our shields, or they're going to take out our shields basically completely. No? Okay, well that's fine then. No big deal, their hacking module must be terrible. The halberd beam does indeed go through 1 bar of shields, and that made it very, very easy for us to succeed there, so no need to use missile parts right away. We picked up a little bit of scrap, and what do we go for first? Since we already have 2nd level of doors, I really think we just up our dodge chance like crazy to maximize the amount of time that we have with our, No, we couldn't buy the slavers there. Or we couldn't buy the slaves, I should say. We couldn't buy the slavers either, because they're not for sale. They're businessmen, not the business that men are doing. So the area we went to was unfortunately just a store, which is really unfortunate for us. I would love to pick up some of these things. In particular, I'm really going to focus on getting a drone control unit. I've been talking to people on Twitter, and I've been saying, why can't I beat FTL? Teach me the secrets to beating FTL. And a lot of it seems to be having missile defense, in a way. Unfortunately, we have no missile defense except dodging, but if we pick up a drone control unit, then we will have more. So my hope is that... is it almost charged? Not even close. We're only going to get 3 here anyway. We might as well hit these. My hope is that we'll pick up a drone control unit, and as a result of having that drone control unit, missiles will no longer be a problem for me at all. Man, the halberd beam does a staggering amount of damage. Now, unfortunately, we do have to wait until we can actually jump out of here. I think I'll probably pick up, I'll pair them. Engines, reactor, engines, reactor, engines, reactor, because obviously one doesn't really mean that much without the other. Well, actually, reactor power means a lot. Our sensors are out. Oh, that sucks. Reactor power means a lot without engines, but so be it. We're just going to let the fire kind of burn through here as we jump away, and we have to jump away. Otherwise, we'll be trapped here forever. So even though it's unideal that we don't have our sensors right now, we'll be able to work it out. We'll intervene to defend the outpost. Why? Very simple reason. The halberd beam completely cuts through enemy systems. So they have a drone. I think it's still smart to take out weapons before anything else. The fire is still raging here, unfortunately, so we'll just give it some time. We can tell based on this fire icon in our subsystems here. It's out, so we'll just let the oxygen replenish a little bit. Halberd beam is about to go off. Did quite a number there. It's actually like, it does 2 damage per room. So I think if you put it on top of shields, it only does 1 damage per room, but we're about to find out, I guess. Oxygen is probably all the way back, so let's send our engine repairman all the way over here. A little bit less of an ideal layout for repairs, because keep in mind we are on a little bit more expansive of a ship here. Maybe it still does do 2 damage per room. That's kind of crazy. Alright, so we picked up an awful lot as a result of that. Engines go up. We can probably get... Just looking at it. Can we get 3 levels? No. We can definitely get 2 levels of engine power. And we'll wait till this guy repairs the subsystem of these sensors. Because then when he goes back to the engine room... You go there. We can then have full power in our engines, which will give us a 20% dodge chance. It's not great, but it's enough for now. I almost just want to go to the exit. Like, the store is kind of meaningless, but maybe we'll get a ton of scrap that'll make it worthwhile for us. By the way, if you're annoyed by the fact that I'm playing on easy, I do apologize for that, but I think it's better long-term for me to play on easy than it is for me to play on normal, which, let's be honest, is a very difficult... well, it's just very difficult. I don't need to really add a modifier to the end of it, do I? It's a very tough game. Even on easy, the flagship in particular, obviously we're not going to accept surrender after just completely destroying all of their important systems with our halberd beam over top of their shields. But yeah, it's a hard game. Even on easy, the flagship is total bullshit. I like it because it's punishing and it's unfair, but in spite of that, I think it's good for us to get our skill back here and then go to normal, and maybe even hard if we eventually get adept at normal. Not that we're ever going to reach like a 50% success rate or anything like that, like we have in Isaac, but it would be nice regardless, I suppose. So yes, I did upgrade engines one more. Why? It's a reasonable question, all things considered. We can't upgrade our engine power, and I can't really take power away from anything except maybe oxygen, but that would be pretty stupid of me. Probably should have just waited and seen if I could buy anything here. We have a stun bomb, a heavy laser, and a breaching missile. Those would be very useful, but we have nothing to sell. So I'm just going to buy as much fuel as I can. That took us down to 0 scrap. And we go to the final sector. And this was not the, you know, powerhouse first sector that I oftentimes get as a Zoltan. But that's okay. We only need 2 more scrap to get our next 5 dodge chance. It looks like we have basically... You know, on the way to the final sector, we either hit 1 nebula or we hit one red sector. And I think either of those is a pretty palatable option. That's shitty. That's shitty too, but we'll take this way because we can avoid more nebulas this way. We don't have a lot of reactor power, and that's kind of what I was worried about as we run into this situation. 0 bars of shields, and they have a missile launcher. Actually kind of ideal, because their missiles can't get through us anyway. And we can hit 4 very important systems with our halberd beam here. All we have to do is hopefully have a reasonable chance. I'm going to take my missile launcher offline. And we'll put that into engine power. Have a reasonable chance to dodge some missiles. Even if we don't dodge any, I think we're going to be fine because this halberd beam should tear them apart. Alright, I just noticed, and you probably noticed before I did, that we have no oxygen on the ship. That's kind of a stupid thing to take power from, so we'll just put that back into our oxygen area, and that's okay. The next time the halberd beam fires, it should take out all of their relevant systems, but this missile could be annoying. Oh, that was actually a pretty clutch miss there. Their next missile could still do damage to us, but we'll have a halberd beam charge before they can fire 2 of them at least. I think. Oh, that one missed too. That is probably exceptionally lucky, I'll be honest. Here comes the halberd beam. That did enough to finish them off. Relatively easy fight, even though it didn't necessarily start that way, and we picked up a lot of scrap as a result. And we'll make sure to put 1 point into reactor power, and we'll jump, because we don't want to upgrade anything else right now until we see where our power actually falls once we reach a real level. You follow the distress beacon to a tiny asteroid belt. You find a small ship struggling to maneuver through the field. We'll hail them. They respond, help, our shields are down and we won't last long. Try to shield their ship with the ores or don't risk our ship. We'll shield it. We could take hull damage. And we did, but we got 16 scrap as well. No fires as well, which is always nice, just in general. We might want to pick up one more bar of engine power. I know we're going hard on this pretty quickly, but people have told me 4 bars is enough. Where does it hit diminishing returns? It hits diminishing returns at 25. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get one more level of this, and we'll depower our missile launcher for now. And we'll probably stay here for engines for now. If we end up having a little bit of extra scrap later, we may invest in it, but I think for now, 35% dodge chance is pretty good. We ended up getting involved in some combat. No big deal because we have the energy shield. And can we hit 4? Almost certainly not. Yo, we can! Okay, wow, that was kind of close, but that's okay. Beam does a lot of damage to our energy shield, but no big deal. And we're gonna win basically right now. Yeah, we didn't even have to worry about dealing with a second round of attacks. What comes next? Second bar of shields seems smart, but also at the same time, we might just want to maybe be able to buy another system from the store. Picking up a cloaking system would be amazing. What do they have? They have a missile launcher and a laser. No big deal. Did they like completely depower our engines or something? It appears so. Let's look at how we want to handle this. I wonder if we just place the beam properly, because I really want to hit engines in addition to like shields and weapons. But I guess we can do this and do more hull damage, but not hit the shields, and that should be fine, because the halberd beam goes through the first bar anyway. The missiles did hit us. Unfortunately, we only have a 10% dodge chance because of the... wow, they only have their laser up now, which is awesome. But yeah, they only have a 10% dodge chance. Sorry, we only have a 10% dodge chance due to the fact that, unfortunately... Ooh, come on. Halberd beam's getting pretty close. Due to the fact that, unfortunately, our engine power has been diverted. But that's okay, we took out a lot of their systems. They're, unfortunately, going to be able to do quite a number on us with this missile if it hits. It did hull damage, no big deal. Halberd beam will then tear them apart. Hopefully they can't sneak in another shot prior, and they're dead. Wonderful. Next is another bar of shields. What do we need? 20 plus 30, so we need 50 plus about another 40. So we need 90 total, I would say, in order to make this work. Asteroid field scares the crap out of me. We're probably in a better position than they are. In fact, I'm actually going to use a missile, and the reason I'm going to do this is to take out their shields. That way asteroids will be way more dangerous for them, and hopefully that'll take out their weapons before they can do more damage to us. Instead of, if we don't spend this missile, we're going to end up spending hull damage. So I think this was maybe the right decision. We can also hit a lot of relevant systems. There go their shields completely. We're definitely not going to accept surrender, considering they were just going to die at the end, and we'll get a ton of scrap as a result. Decent amount of scrap, at least. Wow, that was quite an asteroid there. Unfortunately, we have to wait for our FTL drive to charge up all the way. That's going to take a little while. In the meantime, why don't I take a second to rehydrate? I hope you're enjoying the run so far. It's a little different. Playing as the first Zoltan ship, we're just going to keep jumping, and I may actually end up saving scrap to buy something from the store. Of course, we have a solar flare right away. Flat cannon scares the shit out of me as well. Luckily, we do have a... Wait. I did not divert power again. That was stupid of me. We don't need the missile launcher. There we go. Now we have a 35% chance of dodging. If we can at least dodge one of the flat cannon shots. I don't know how the dodge works. Like, either you dodge all of them or you only dodge... Like, each one has its own individual dodge chance. We'll find out eventually, I hope. But in any case, that's another weapon that I want to get a little bit more experience with. So I'm hoping we maybe have a chance to pick up one of those at some point in the future here. Let's see. Here it comes. One of them did miss, so it appears they do have their own individual dodge chances, which is great, actually, because, well, I mean, it's not necessarily great, but it's not necessarily bad the other way, either. What I'm trying to get at is basically, like, either you dodge them all, or you only dodge some. There's positives and negatives to both of those. So we're just going to put out this fire that was caused here. Maybe we want to run it like this instead, just so we maybe don't have as much nastiness due to... Oh, I didn't open this door. That was so stupid of me. Please tell me the fire doesn't spread into the shield room. That's the only thing that scares me. It's got to be done soon. Okay, that's plenty scrap. No question about it. Fire's about to extinguish. but it has spread a little bit. I want to jump before the next solar flare. We will jump, and then we'll close our doors. It sucks that there's some oxygen missing from some parts of our ship, but that's okay for now. We are going to attack the automated ship, close all doors. And with an ion and a beam, they do have a reasonable chance to do some damage to me, but as long as the halberd beam fires fairly soon, we should be okay. They missed with their ion, which probably would have done 1 damage based on the size of the cannon, I would guess. But yeah, that's going to disable a lot of the stuff that would otherwise make them a real threat. So let's just make sure we get 3 rooms here with the highlighting, and we're good to go. Why am I saving scrap? I would love to buy a hacking, mind control, or cloaking unit. Basically, that is why I am stockpiling scrap right now. It's not like we are finding ourselves in like an offensively or defensively dangerous position on Sector 2. I mean, keep in mind we are playing on easy, so that's part of it. But largely, what I'm thinking is that if we end up getting one of those things, one of those systems that I mentioned, that will really end up helping us as the game continues. And we kind of got to aim specifically to beat the Rebel flagship, right? Because everything else we can beat autopilot, more or less. Not like there's no literal autopilot in the game, I guess. Hull Smasher Laser. That's a weapon that was already in the game. Let me refresh my memory. A powerful laser designed to maximize hull damage does double damage on systemless rooms. So if you aim at systemless rooms, it will do 4 times the damage. Sorry, it will do 4 damage in 2 shots, is what I meant. We could enable this, and it maybe could get shields down, but it's not really a weapon that synergizes too fantastically with the setup that we've already got going on, you know? Like, our halberd beam is already cutting these enemies apart. If we need a way to get around shields, this hull laser is not it, and it only does damage when shields are mostly down, so I don't really think this is the ideal for us. I love when ships have layouts like this, though, because then we can, with our halberd beam, hit some very important systems. Oxygen engines, weapons, and shields. That's going to make it very difficult for them to do much of anything at all, really. They have taken our energy shield down to 3 bars out of 5. That's not a problem, and I wasn't trying to do an accidental X-Play style review. Another miss is very nice for us, and the halberd beam just tears them apart. What an excellent weapon! The halberd beam is wonderful. We now have a staggering amount of scrap. If we could just get to the store and get back, I would be okay with it, and I think we can do that. So I'm going to check it out. We'll probably end up buying a system here. Let's see what it is. Wow, they actually have some kind of not great weapons. They have a stun bomb. Self-teleporting explosive that does 1 ion damage and stuns all crew inside the room. Interesting. Chain ion. This weapon's ion damage increases each time it fires to a maximum of 4. We tried this for a while. Small bomb. I actually kind of don't like any of these, but I do think that buying the scrap recovery arm is very smart. I do think it's smart to sell the laser, honestly, and we'll buy them out of fuel. And then for now, we'll pick up some upgrades for ourselves. So we'll get another bar of shields. That takes us down to 57 scrap. What comes next? A second bar of sensors wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. There we go. So, we still have 32 scrap. We can still get to the exit before things become really dire for us. It's unfortunate. I could have afforded cloaking. I could have afforded hacking, a drone control unit, but that's fine. We ended up getting the upgrades we needed anyway. For now, we will buy fuel for scrap. Buying fuel just seems to be like a no-brainer, basically. You just always want to buy fuel whenever you have the opportunity. And it's on to Sector 3, and I'm feeling pretty good, but could be better. But it is me getting used to the ship a little bit. That's a little bit outside of my standard comfort zone, I guess you could say. Can we chart a decent course here? It's not fantastic, but distress beacons have high value and high risk, admittedly. Okay. So you'd arrive at the distress beacon near a small asteroid belt and find a ship with pirate markings, partially crushed. It's the, like, illegal asteroid belt mining. We'll cut it out. That's an extra 36 scrap for us. Don't really want to hit the store up just yet. I kind of want to build up, you know, ideally like another 150 scrap, so if they have cloaking, we can buy it. I know I just said buying fuel is like, you always want to do it. I kind of balked at that a little bit, and the reason for that is that I really want to get as much scrap as possible. But hopefully we end up picking up a bunch here. They still only have 1 bar of shields. Where things become kind of dangerous for us is within this sector or on the next sector. We should end up running up against ships that have 2 bars of shields, and when ships have 2 bars of shields, I actually think that the halberd beam will not be capable of, they're gonna surrender already. I only got 1 shot in, that's not even fun yet. When ships have 2 bars of shields, I think that will, really cause some problems for me, because the halberd beam won't be able to get through them. We'll need like an ion weapon or our missile to land instead, but really ideally what I would like to do is hack them. Or mind control the units inside of them, or both. So we got a long-range scanner. I don't really respect that upgrade. That doesn't mean it's bad, it might just mean that I don't understand it. So, long-range scanner adds additional information about nearby beacons on the star map. We're not going to sell it either way. Yeah, those are not great. Yeah, we'll jump to this one first. We can still probably get to the store this way. We'll see. Anyway, trade 4 fuel for 2 drone parts. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, you know what? Fuck this store. I thought about going to it, but I've decided against it now, because there's going to be another store in this other area as well. Now we have 121 scrap. There's our other store, basically. We have 121 scrap and an item we can sell. I didn't want this item to begin with, so we can sell it, and that will be nice for us. And we can get cloaking, or we should be able to get cloaking. Are you kidding me? Well, you know what? We're gonna sell our long-range scanners, and we're gonna buy a cloaking system. There we go. That's great. We'll depower our engines to make sure that our cloaking is powered up. Thank you, by the way, to all of the people that have provided feedback that it's important to use your cloaking at, like, exactly the right time. So when the enemy shoots in... Oh, did we get what we wanted here? Yes, we got an ion stunner, which is only 1 weapon power. Drains and locks systems. Yeah, absolutely, we will have this set to go. Sorry, engine power. But actually, we'll compensate for that by upping our reactor a little bit. But anyway, to finish my train of thought... we will try to use cloaking as, like, the big enemy shot comes in. The reason for that is that cloaking gives you a plus 60% chance to dodge. We have a 34% chance to dodge already. If we cloak as, like, missiles come in, that means that we'll have a 94% chance to dodge each one of those missiles, which is awesome for us. So, we end up having to fight them. I kind of wish I didn't, but whatever. Actually, you know what? I'm totally happy doing it. So, let's just... see if we can hit 5 rooms here. Looks pretty unlikely. We might have to go for weapons instead of shields, but we should be able to hit oxygen and engines simultaneously. There we go. That's kind of the and maybe not ideal, but it was what I was going for. We'll cloak. We'll cloak as their shot comes in, just to avoid taking 1 extra bit of like energy shield damage. And we don't really need to take their shields down, but the ion stunner, it seems useful nonetheless. They've offered to surrender, and you know what? They're offering a nice supply of fuel, but we're not going to accept surrender. Ion Stunner, I'm not sure if it's the weapon we need, but it's definitely the weapon we have. So, whether or not that ends up being super useful for me is something that remains to be seen. The halberd beam just completely cuts through the first bar of shields regardless, so no big deal. We got 30 scrap and 3 fuel, so we lost like 1 fuel, but picked up a lot more scrap as a result. Get that extra bar of power, put it inside of our engine room, and jump probably to the exit, and we'll probably leave after this. 3rd bar of shields wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but what else do we invest in at this point? Okay, a small platform orbits near this beacon. It looks like a fueling station of some sort, and it's cheerfully broadcasting reasonable prices in a spectrum of frequencies and language. Let's dock with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The automated platform seems to be damaged. You can likely steal as much fuel as remains. Let's steal it. We got 3 fuel as a result of that. There was like a whole like, oh, have ethics, don't steal it option. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to save the world here. The end justifies the means to some extent. We're in Zoltan space now on Sector 4. Let's begin to jump. Normally I'd go to this distress beacon. We can't get there from the store, so we're kind of abandoning this path if we take this way. But I think that's okay, because there's more beacons total over here. The more combat we get involved with, the better. Okay, it's a Zoltan study. Please just don't ruin a crew member for me. Intruders are on board. That's fine. I can deal with that. Unfortunately, we are going to have to move our pilot. Why is that bad? We get, like, 0 dodge chance by moving them? Yeah, so we're going to have 0 dodge chance. That sucks. But when the missile comes in, we'll cloak. Also, ion stunner. We'll get that prepped for their shields. But yes, have your finger on the cloak button for when they choose to shoot. Hopefully they shoot both at once. There's... it's come... I didn't shield in time, but I did... They actually managed to land a shot. Actually, that doesn't surprise me all that much because they only have a 60% chance to hit. Or, sorry, they have a 60% chance to hit, which is totally okay. Are you, like, mind controlled or something, Butters? Like, get out of here. There we go. Halberd beam through 1 bar of shields will do work here. Sorry, that might have seemed like some disjointed commentary, and it was, I would agree. That being said, what I was basically getting at there is I'm not surprised that we ended up getting hit because, truth be told, even when we're cloaked, we're not that protected against shots when we don't have a pilot. So we're going to close up these doors. Should probably send our Zoltan into the medbay. You don't have to repower the medbay when you have a Zoltan crew member because the Zoltan themselves will just power it up. Now that there's no oxygen missing, let's get our dodge chance back. Oh, this is perfect. 60%? Yeah. They still managed to land 1, but that's not a big deal. Ion Stunner doing good work. Their crew members are already dead. Zoltan, not the fastest repairman, but that's okay. We've done good work here. 48 scrap and a defense drone, and some more scrap on top of that. 3rd bar of shields will cost us 150 at this point. That's justifiable for sure. We'll wait till our engines get repaired, and then we'll send our 2 Zoltan crew members who are not necessarily in the fittest of health into... Where are you going? Where... What the... Oh, I accidentally sent that guy into the engine room instead. My mistake. If we send him into the med bay, he'll probably have a chance to get healed. Did I actually save our unit position at all? Maybe it automatically saves when you start. I don't remember clicking the button, but we will click it right now. Hopefully have a better chance. And this is going well so far. Could be better, but well so far. Let's see if we end up getting into combat here. Nothing. Nothing at all. We may have a chance to go to the store, and again, I would love to do this because I would still love to pick up a hacking or mind control unit. We will buy fuel. That was me basically giving up the ghost because I'm not going to have a very good chance at all. Ooh. Like long-term planning. I think we can hit this distress and store on the way to the exit, but we'll see if this ends up working out. We don't have to repair yet. We're not in dire straits at all. They have 1 bar of shields, which is not bad. How do we land a shot here? Well, we land the ideal shot. Weapons, engines, shields, and oxygen really messes with them. And we'll just get ready to cloak when they decide to shoot probably both of their weapons simultaneously. Give it a second. We'll take this one. Sure, good miss. Then the missiles come in. Sorry, Ion Stunner should be auto-fired on shields as well. That's my mistake. Get ready. Missiles should be coming. That missed as well. We have no need to cloak if they just can't hit us. This is pretty much ideal. If only their laser's alive, I don't even need to worry about cloaking, to be honest with you. That took 2 damage out. Not a big deal at all. Halberd beam will fire. Yeah, they're in a rough spot. Oxygen is completely out. That's going to be a problem for them. Shields completely out. Engines damaged. Weapons damaged. Ion Stunner lands. Energy shield's almost down. We're not going to accept their surrender because they're going to die anyway. We can't turn off the beam. That just wouldn't even make any sense. Picked up 38 extra scrap as a result. Then distress beacon. Then store, where hopefully we'll be able to pick up like a hacking or, at this point, drone control unit. Wow, that's just a lot of scrap for free from that distress beacon. So... we go to the store. Please tell me that we can get some kind of system here. We can afford it. We can get a drone control, a teleporter, which I would love if we weren't Zoltan. But we'll take a drone control unit. And you know what? We'll take another crew member. We'll take a human... No, you know what? The Zoltan is smarter here because we need a shield crew member. And there they are. It's a little bit more expensive, but that's okay. And beyond that, we don't really need to buy anything else. We might want to fix up just a touch. And we're not going to sell our defense drone because I would like to pick up a drone control unit. Oh, never mind. We have one. So we're definitely not going to sell our defense drone. That's excellent. So we need reactor power. We'll upgrade that 1 level. We need 2 levels for a defense drone. We don't need the defense drone yet, but we may need it in the future. That's very nice. Our new Zoltan, you are our shield crew member. And I feel like we're getting some of the prerequisites necessary to make this work. Particularly against, like, the Federation ships, or sorry, the flagship, I should say. Against their, like, 3 missile attack, we now have some really good defenses in the form of cloaking, which will give us, at this point, if we have a pilot, 99% dodge on each one of those missiles. We also have a defense drone, Mark 1, which is not great, but it can get better. Let's get our newfound crew member out of here. And we'll open this up. We'll probably lose our shields, at least 1 bar, over the course of this. We'll get our auto-firing ion stunner to work on their... Oh, they didn't actually take out a bar of shields, which is kind of amazing. Don't need to dodge that. That's fine. We'll dodge this one. Why not, right? Gives us basically, yeah, 99% chance to dodge, which is stupid and amazing. And then we'll land a shot like so. That's wonderful. Probably should go on engines instead of piloting system, but it really doesn't matter. They have to know at this point that they're basically dead. Without an oxygen system, they're in real trouble. And also, the reason I love the ion stunner, look at that. Whenever it hits, it also stuns the enemies in the room, which is why you have the name ion stunner, obviously. But, you know, it's also nice when the oxygen goes out, and then everybody that wants to fix it, or would like to fix it, is actually just completely stunned in and of themselves. Wonderful. This will allow us to get to the exit. We might have to deal with some riffraff here in the nebula. Looks like we've got nothing. That's beautiful. 3rd bar of shields is probably our next big thing after making sure that we can power up our drone unit. Sure. You begin charging your FTL drive and do a quick scan of a local planet. You find the ruins of a recently destroyed Federation colony on the surface. There must be a rebel ship in the vicinity. We'll perform a scan of the area, and that's going to give us some combat, and it's actually some pretty easy combat. What's nice about this is that it's actually going to be a good test. And I say that because they have a great supply of lasers. When they shoot, and they're going to charge up at the same time, basically. There we go. We're just going to cloak, go up to 99% dodge chance, and, you know, see you later, 6 lasers. Halberd beam is going to come in. They're not going to be able to fire 6 lasers anytime soon in the future. That was excellent. I would still like to cloak again, but we're not going to be able to before the next bar, or the next attack from their lasers comes in. Give it a second here. They missed with 1 of them, and we killed them. So that was an excellent cloak. Good practice, let's put it that way. Now, we actually do have the reactor power necessary to power up our drone control unit. It used a drone control part just to power it up. What comes next? 1 bar of weapons and 1 bar of reactor power, just so that in the future, if we need it, our missile launcher can be turned on. We might as well turn it on for right now. And then the next thing that we do, shields. I think a 3rd bar of shields would not be the worst thing in the world. We maybe could have farmed a little bit more there, but I'm actually just going to move along. By farmed, I mean, like, grinded 1 more out. It's okay, though. This is a good run. And since we're on, like, Sector 6 here, I apologize if this seems scummy. At least I'm not breaking the videos up into 10-minute parts. If you enjoy the episode and you're still watching, maybe consider clicking the like button. It would help out a great deal for the success of the series. It really does help out a lot. If you ever want to know why it helps out, it's not a secret. I just don't want to go into great detail. Ask me on Twitter. Maybe I'll type something up. But it does help a lot. So if you like the video, click the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more FTL, etc., etc. For now, though, let's continue. Participate in the Zoltan study. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't really bother me at this point. If we end up having to deal with the negative repercussions of our scientific endeavors here, no harm, no foul, you know. Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds, etc., etc. As their lasers or missiles come in, we will cloak. Maybe we won't cloak right away. They're rockmen, so they are going to have a real hard time getting out of the way quickly of the situation we've got going on. Halberd beam does cut through first level shields like they're butter. You should really go back to the shield room. I don't know why I kept you here for so long. Halberd beam is ready to go, but the 3rd bar of shields is almost up. You know what? With 30 missile parts, let's launch a missile That'll land on shield. Oh, it got shot down. Okay, we'll wait for the next ion stunner to come in. There we go. And then we'll cut them up. Starting to actually have to deal with some real problems here. Ooh, they actually did land a shot on our shields. We'll send our weapons person over there to heal them up as quickly as possible. We'll land another missile, and this time I'm going to land it on their weapons, just to take them out, hopefully. No, their drone is stopping us. It's very stupid of me to continually fire upon... Their Rockmen are dead, right? There we go. It's very stupid of me to continually fire missiles here. Not a smart idea. We should cloak more often. Here we go. There comes the cloak. Halberd beam shouldn't set it to auto fire. That's a dumb decision on my part. You know what? We might want to send out a defense drone just to deal with their missiles, and that could cost us less hull damage in the long term. So, halberd beam, less auto firing. Here we go. Do we fire in a missile? Absolutely not. What's the point? Halberd beam, do we fire it in? Not until the ion stunner lands, which it will now. Okay, and then we land in the perfect shot right here. Alright, that's going to be a very big problem for them. We'll get ready to cloak as another shot comes in. Like right now. There we go. We shot down their missiles, so actually I should use the cloaking to defend against the laser, but I'm pretty sure we're done with this fight right now. Oh, that was stupid. The ion stunner is just too slow. That's fine though. We really can't take any damage as long as we're using a defense drone here. So halberd beam, don't auto fire. Ion stunner misses. So we'll wait for the next ion stunner before we use the halberd beam, but that will probably be the end of the fight. This was a mismanaged fight, but it was a learning experience, which is important. Alright, the ion stunner landed. Here we go. This could do 8 damage. Should at least do 4. Maybe it only does 4 damage because of the shields. That's fine. Got 54 scrap and a combat drone as a result of that. What's the combat drone? Powerful drone that continually attacks the enemy ship, moves and shoots faster than the first level. Honestly, our weaponry might seem a little suspect after that fight, but I think it's fine. So we'll probably end up not needing this combat drone and selling it instead to maybe pick up a second level defense drone. Alright, what do they have? A beam and a laser. It looks like a charge laser. So, why do I have 2 bars of shields that are not doing anything? Well, we don't need a defense drone. That's why. We have 2 Zoltans in the shield room. You should all head back to your rooms of choice. Yes, I understand that one of our crew members is low on health. That's fine. We'll cloak when some shots come in. Until then, ion stunner. Get ready. The beam, we're going to ignore. It's the charge laser. There we go. 2 shots are coming in. We're going to just cloak the way out of them with a 99% dodge chance. And before we use our halberd beam, we're just going to take out the energy shield. Yes, it will take us a while to make that happen, but that's okay. Their energy shield is worse off than ours is, although they're about to hit a second level charge, I think, on the laser. They missed both of those shots, though. So here comes the ion stunner. This is an important one to make sure the halberd beam can actually do damage. It's a slow shot, and it missed. That sucks. We'll cloak to dodge those laser shots they just fired in. Yeah, only a 1% chance they would hit. And now we wait for the next ion stunner. Does it land? Does it land? Yes! Okay, that is the moment of truth. We hit empty room, medbay, shields, and weapons. Is that even possible? No. So empty room. Well, if we're gonna do it this way, why don't we do like doors, shields, oxygen, weapons? That is way better for me. Yeah, that's a problem for them. Well, if they're only gonna fire in 2 lasers, we're actually at 0 risk. Even ignoring our dodge chance. Halberd beam should not auto-fire. So we'll just wait on it for a second. When it's ready to go, we'll fire it. It's not ready until the ion lands, which it did. And then we'll fire another shot in here. There we go. 4 rooms. They want to surrender and will not accept it. Let's turn off our auto-fire. Might as well cloak. I mean, I can't come up with a good reason not to. We dodge their shots, and we'll see if this halberd beam is ready to go. The stunner is working quite nicely. Let's see if it lands. It missed, so we'll end up waiting a little bit longer. Could use a missile, but why not save it, right? Just give it a second for the next ion stunner to come in. And then the halberd beam will basically automatically finish the job here. Like so. And that was wonderful. With the Zoltan cruiser dead, we have 155 scrap, which now does put us at 3rd level of shields worthy. But is there a store nearby? Because I would still love to buy hacking instead. Let's accept the position we're in right now. There's no store nearby. On Sector 5, I think we should upgrade our shields to the 3rd bar. Oh, we can't actually. We can get close. Oh, I mean, we can upgrade our shields to 3rd bar. Actually, there's no real risk. If we want to get a defense drone, then we just depower our engines one. Sure, that's totally fine. I'm feeling very good about this. It's a Zoltan ship with a flak cannon, which is basically... Oh, a flak cannon, an ion, and a laser. Which is basically tailor-made to destroy us. We should not really have that many problems with it, though. The ion stunner fires automatically. Or we want it to fire automatically. They just fired in 4 shots at once, so that is where we cloak. And don't get hit. Fantastic. Wait for the ion stunner to land. It's a weird position, but I almost feel like we should be using our missiles to take out the energy shield just because we have so many missiles. But I think we're going to be fine. This is the moment of truth. Oh, that was a good miss. Didn't even come close to doing damage. Come on, ion stunner. You can do it. We'll give it some time. Save as many resources as we can. Yeah. Good land on the ion cannon. That means energy shields are down. Sorry, ion stunner. We'll shield up now. That was bad timing, but that's okay. Okay, now the halberd beam can come in and do what it does best. 4 rooms and 4 important rooms with 1 beam. That's going to require repairs, and the stunner is going to continually stun whoever tries to repair, which is wonderful. I like that an awful lot. No need to worry about micromanaging our missile launcher, because there's no need to worry about firing our missile launcher right now. Good misses on their weapons. We need to wait for the ion stunner to actually hit. I think it did. Oh, wait, you know what? They only had 1 bar of shields. We'll give it a quick try here. Should be able to come close to finishing them off. At least do some damage. Yeah, that's going to suck for them. Flak cannon missed more than enough. All we do now is wait. We can cloak. There's kind of no reason to do it, but there's no reason not to either. Halberd beam is going to finish the job for us. And another wonderful fight in the books. I think we've got a pretty good chance here. That's a decent amount of scrap. Again, I can't stress enough, we are playing on easy, but this is to unlock more ships and to give us a little bit more affinity. So far so good. They have intruders, or we have intruders. They are intruding. That's fine. If they want to attack our cloaking system, that's no big deal, really. Are they going to be able to take it down before they... No. So I was thinking, like, I would just cloak ASAP. It's actually not necessary, though. So let's see if we can land an ion stunner on them. We don't want to cloak out of their beam. We want to cloak out of the laser. Yeah, so, I mean, that was probably unideal, but that's okay. What's the next thing we upgrade? We're going to go for cloaking, I think. Let's see if... Oh, geez, the ion stunner isn't even firing. That's stupid of me. It hits. Okay, that's important because of this reason right there. That's going to cause some serious problems for them. Our shields are almost down, but not quite down. And all of the Zoltans who invaded us are now dead. That's a good position to be in. Don't fire the halberd beam until you're sure it's ready to go. It's a slow one. Here we go. This is an important one. It hits, and this should really cause them some serious problems. Right there. Didn't quite finish the job, but it got pretty close. Fire again, I dare you. There we go. We cloak out of that one. That's not going to be good for them from like a weapon firing standpoint, from like a winning the game standpoint, from a not dying in space standpoint. They've got some issues. Alright, this will do it. So, hopefully a lot of scrap there. We want to upgrade cloaking as much as possible. That takes us up to 129 scrap. Good God. Well, we are going to the store first, just in case they have a hacking or mind control unit. These are always fun to micromanage, so they have both, actually. We're going to go with... They also have a flak cannon, which would be awesome. You know what? Is there anything to sell? We're going to sell our second defense drone. I think we should sell our combat drone because I'm not going to use it. This is up to 191 scrap. I think we're going to buy a flak cannon. It requires 2 power, but really messes up shields, which is really important for getting that halberd beam working. Sure. And then we're going to get a mind control unit. And the reason we're going to go mind control instead of hacking is because we're already going to be using drone parts for our defense drone. So I think that mind control is maybe a little smarter. This is your ship's final system slot, so we'll never be able to get hacking if we do this. Sure, we'll try it. It's going to be interesting. We don't need more reactor power, which is surprising to me. In order to use our flak cannon, we will need more weapon power. I can disable the missile launcher for now. What do we need to use more weapon power? 75, 90. We need like 160 scrap. No. We only need the 70 scrap first, and then some reactor power. So that's definitely doable. So let's keep the ion stunner working for now. Like, I don't want to turn off the ion stunner. So that's what I was thinking. Can we get to the exit easily from here? Easily enough, at least, but we can do it in 2 jumps this way, which might be safer. Let's see. We're dealing with no sensors on this one, and we have an intruder on board. Where are they? They're in our oxygen and our mind control room, which is right here. Those are tough rooms to actually root people out of, but we can do it like so, and we'll see what happens here. I don't think we're in too much trouble. It might be... Okay, they killed our oxygen room. That's trouble. Give it a second here. They're attacking this door. They've got to be close to death. I don't know if we should, like, mind control here. We can't see. Oxygen's still okay. This is fine. Don't worry about it too much yet. Doors are open. They seem to be getting tired. I think they're dead. I think they're dead. We don't really need our pilot here, so let's send a couple of enemies to go, or sorry, a couple of our units to scout it out. They're not dead. They're pretty close. Let's open... Ooh. Who's close? You're close. Okay, why don't you go to the med bay for now, then? And we'll open up these doors so that they have to deal with the oxygen problem. Okay, you should live. Yeah. They're gonna be fine. You're not gonna be fine. You know what? We're going to send you into the med bay for now. And we're actually going to send these 2 ding-dongs up here to fix the oxygen bay. This is a little bit of a scary position, but as long as we handle it appropriately, I don't really see a huge issue here. Hopefully we can fix the oxygen before they die. Stay cool. You've got a little bit more health. We might have to sacrifice 1 crew member. I think... Unfortunately, Lang has no chance. We'll send in another crew to finish the job. Oh god, it didn't finish the job! Oh my god. We actually... I don't want to talk about that. That was a good run that got ruined by me being an idiot. They were probably about 98% of the way done. If I just sacrificed another crew member, we would have been fine. Instead, I'm a dumbass. Judge Judy... Cater. It's the adjudicator. It did the best that we've ever done with this ship on easy, but still. Oh man, I don't even want to ask for support there because I royally fucked up. But in any case, if you did enjoy the video, click the like button. It would help me feel less bad about the situation. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.